All right, Mutha Truckers, you already know this is going to be a sensitive topic here, but we got to talk about it because the Department of Justice officially is going through with this, and they are reclassifying MJ. And the ATA, OOIDA, they have something to say about this. ATA for sure thinks that this is a bad move, making it hard to test truck drivers for any abuse of this per se. And they believe that it could make the roads more dangerous if people are using, right? So let's get into today's video. Let's get into this right here and let's talk about some truths about this. You know, I say this in the video already, but big disclaimer about this, you know, nothing's getting legalized here. You know, this is just something that they're putting into effect so that now when the government is looking at MJ, potentially it could just mean less restrictions and the government would view it as less dangerous. So let's get into this video and let's see what the heck is going on. There's people on both sides of the fence, but when it comes to trucking, what are your thoughts? What's going on, Mutha Truckers? So we have a doozy one right here that potentially can change the game for trucking companies and how they test you, right? The ATA, OOIDA, all have come out with official responses, and we will get into that. And just like the title reads from the thumbnail, right? The Department of Justice is officially submitting to the Federal Registry and moving forward with the reclassification of MJ as a Schedule III substance. Now, what is the different levels, right? Going from a 1 to a Schedule III, right? Now, Schedule 1 means that it is highly addictive substance that has no medical purposes at all. And when you take that to a Schedule III, that would mean that it is used in medical settings, is less likely to be addictive, right? And so I want to go through some of the things here so that you understand really what's going on, right? The Attorney General is now submitting the proposed rule that they attend in a few days. Now, with the timeline of this, right, President Biden asked the DOJ and the DEA to re-look and review this, right? How dangerous is, you know, MJ, right? So from this, there will be a 60-day comment period. And after the 60-day comment period, the Department of Justice will put this rule into the Federal Register. All right. Now, big one right here. It is not being legalized. This is not making it illegal across the country. You know, all they're stating is that potentially this will have less restrictions, and the federal government views on this will be that it is less dangerous, right? So they're using this to take a different approach to basically cannabis and MJ, right? Now, what are people stating on this? People in the comments are going crazy and saying that cannabis is much less dangerous than alcohol and cigarettes, which is perfectly legal. And people in the comments are stating back, well, of course, because the government gets their taxes, right? And so where does this really fall with trucking? So this comes from the ATA, and the source of the article is from FreightWaves, and I'll put that link down below. But ATA is red flagging this DOJ's proposed policy change. And the biggest concern why is because, you know, of this right here. According to the DOJ, the proposed change is consistent with the view of the Department of Health and Human Services that MJ has a currently accepted medical use, as well as HHS's views about MJ's abuse potential and level of physical or psychological dependence, right? Now, In responding to the proposal, ATA noted that the Department of Transportation's current drug and alcohol testing authority is limited by the Health and Human Services mandatory guidelines for federal workplace drug testing programs, which allow motor carriers to test for Schedule 1 or 2, but not for Scheduled 3, right? So because of those guidelines, it will make it hard to test if a truck driver per se has any, MJ in them, right? So, quote unquote, if this rulemaking is prohibited to move forward without appropriate regulatory review, oversight, and deliberation, ATA is concerned that it will severely curtail the ability of motor carriers and other employees of safety-sensitive positions to maintain a safe working environment, threatening the safety of all road users, right? Now, I was wondering what OOIDA had to state about this, and it says that the Owner-Operator Independent Drivers Association had a more cautious response to the proposed rule. OOIDA has a large, diverse membership, and we are in the process of garnering feedback, said OOIDA's spokesman George O'Connor in a statement. Quote unquote, there are still plenty of questions to be addressed on the topic, particularly because a person who tests positive is not necessarily under the influence and may not have been under the influence for weeks. So OOIDA is being cautious about what they're saying for now and going to look more into this, and what that could do. So overall, Mutha Truckers, what are your thoughts about the Department of Justice officially submitting this to the Federal Registry? And basically, after 60 days, it'll be in there that MJ will go from a 1 to a 3 substance, right? Very interesting stuff here, Mutha Truckers. Very interesting stuff. So, Mutha Truckers, comment down below. Definitely, do you agree or not agree? Do you think somebody that drives a truck should ever, use MJ? Or if you're on your time off, you should be able to do what the heck you want. What are your thoughts about that? Mutha Truckers, comment down below.